And we're fucking live again. Hey, boys, welcome back to Backlog Bonus Stage. I don't
Yeah.
remember because, hello, audience, I've been gone for a while, but I'm back. Don't worry. Now, of course, if you've been around the last couple days, I've been here with Tucker. I don't remember how to do an intro. I didn't know we were starting, frankly, but here we are. It's a podcast, and I'm joined as usual.
It's true.
Fortnite. What's
It's
really
true.
fun about this show is when we completely fuck up an intro like that, there's absolutely nothing we can do.
No,
We're done. It's too
yeah,
late. It's
of course, it's
absolutely too
great,
late.
and the
Yeah.
fact that we do fuck it up, I think it gives a little bit of charm to it because we do try to be a little bit professional in our other videos, and other people they like have followers and they put effort into their videos, but we, on the other hand, we bring a different energy to our own content. And I greatly appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nobody knows there's no resentment towards anybody at all. We love our audience. We make it known constantly. Hi,
it's true.
audience. Thanks for joining us.
I would
Now,
actually
here's,
say a
yes.
significant amount of references to the audience are usually you saying they don't deserve the shit that we do. Because like most videos that we do, they're like,
Well,
we would put an effort, but you guys don't deserve that.
I I often sternly and without emotion tell them to like the video at the end of everything we record, to be fair. But of
Yeah.
course, it, it's kind of on them because our watch averages are never high enough for people to actually be reaching the end of the videos. So they're
Hmm.
kind of empty threats. So really,
Yeah.
the audience, let's tell the audience to go fuck themselves early today. So
Early.
that way they actually hear it.
I was sitting on
My
the
That is my
couch and I was
mistake.
thinking
thank you.
maybe we should just like start doing a thing at the beginning. Where like I don't want to do this, but subscribe and like to our stuff. Like we don't usually do this, but also we want
Uh-huh.
engagement. So fuck you guys.
I Papa Abram notified me that my audio is out, so they missed my glorious Fortnite spiel, but it's fixed. I got it fixed.
Okay, good. So someone's monitoring comments.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you were calling Abram your father.
I was hoping.
I meant
I was
I
really
meant
hoping.
the father of the Abram.
Yeah.
That's how he likes to be referred to.
Change that on
Okay.
his birth certificate.
Okay, now we gotta bring the energy back up
All
because
right.
I'm losing it already. It's not even we haven't even been live for 180 seconds. We're already losing momentum.
Let's go. Let's go, Abram.
All right,
Why don't
where do we
you
want to begin?
Why don't you tell us about your little vacation? What did you do? Where did you go? What kind of things did you see? I'm interested because I actually really haven't heard about it.
Yeah, well, I don't want to tell you.
Oh, okay. Um.
Yeah, so
You've been the king of energy over here, just pulling out Timo's transition and throwing it in the fucking trash.
yeah, so believe it or not, the COVID pandemic happened in the year of our Lord 2020, and
Oh,
because of that, back in March, I was very unserendipitously sent home. Unceremoniously, who cares?
ceremoniously, that's what I would go
I
for.
was sent home back in March, and my girlfriend was too, and we live on very opposite ends of the country. I'm up in Maine, and she's in California.
That's about as
Um,
opposite as you can get. I mean,
about as opposite as you can get, and so we've been doing some long distance stuff for quite a while, and I hadn't seen her in person. We had tried to make plans and just kept falling through, because of the airlines being the airlines or spikes in the virus or whatever. So we finally had it set that I was going to come out and visit her for a lot of December, and that's what ended up happening. I flew out there, I believe, what was it, the 6th, and I was out there until the 22nd.
a
And it
night
was
that is a
really
hearty vacation.
that's a hearty vacation. That's the longest
Yeah.
vacation I've ever taken, and this is the first time
Wow.
I've ever flown by myself.
Oh, really?
Because
How was
yeah,
that?
well,
He's
here's the
he's a
thing.
big boy
Only
now. He's
lost his plane for
graduated.
change.
I know I turned 20. I flew by myself for the first time. I'm a new man, I suppose. Actually, I'm not because both turning 20 and flying by yourself are really unremarkable experiences.
I can't speak for the
But
former, but I can say that flying by yourself is just like flying with other people.
well, but here's the kind of the weird thing, right? Because as we keep saying in the year of our Lord 2020 and the COVID pandemic hitting and all of those things, flying during COVID is way better than flying any other time.
Really?
Hmm.
And It's a little bit
I've not done that.
counterintuitive, but here's the deal: the TSA people, the airport people, are actually giving a fuck about anything happening around them, so it makes things a little bit better. And I had both from Portland. The Portland main airport is never busy, but nobody in the security line with me. And flying out of San Francisco International Airport, not a
SFA.
single person.
That's
Yes,
crazy.
not a
San
single
Francisco's a
person.
huge. That's a big ass airport with big time travelers.
Yes, on December 22nd, I was the only person in the security line.
That is impressive.
You get through, you hang out. Some of the I was on a plane that was like 2 seats, the aisle 2 seats, and people were like stuck together. Like, okay, when you take off, hold hands and lick each other just to be safe. So it's really not ideal. But I also got on a huge plane. There's a ton of space, so that's a little bit more up in the air. But honestly, it's pretty easy getting around. When I was
And
actually out there, yes,
did you get
Mr. Timo, reporter in the field.
did you get COVID? While
I
you
did not get COVID, and I got tested.
That's a success.
Congratulations, yeah.
Heist passed.
But I must interrupt that there's someone very upset that we started without him in chat. His name is Tanner Dykstra.
Oh God,
no.
damn it.
Oh no.
Hey, Tanner, if you want to call from another state with your crappy hotel Wi-Fi, be my guest. Hop in the thing. Timo, if you want to set up the
hold on.
foreman thing in your OBS, if Tanner can pop in and just like show his nostrils for 35 seconds,
Yeah.
if that'll make him happy. He can do whatever he wants. You have access to the Discord, believe it or not.
Tanner could show up through his phone. Well, we will see if that happens. If that does, we'll let you know about it. Abram, continue, please, about your grand travel tales.
Yes, my grand travel tale. So what happened is I flew out and landed in San Francisco about an hour and a half before the city went into lockdown. So that was,
you left, and then they were like, okay, no more.
Yes.
Whoa.
So I got there, and my girlfriend lives a little bit outside the city. So I was with her there, but the reason I came at this juncture is because her mom was on vacation also, and so she took my girlfriend, her sister, and myself up to Oregon for the majority of that trip, and we worked our way up by car, a little bit of a road trip type of deal. Stayed at some Airbnbs along the way. Oregon is really beautiful, especially the Oregon coast is fucking awesome.
I
So
bet.
that was really cool. Yeah, because I'm never, believe it or not, on the West Coast, just hanging out. So getting to see that coastline, getting to see that geography was really fun. And getting to see my girlfriend, of course, above all that, was really awesome. You know, we watched a lot of movies, introduced her to the original trilogy of Star Wars films.
She was introduced. That's interesting. I mean, usually people are not. People have been already introduced by the time they're like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's one Becky Koppelman in the chat, but Becky Koppelman, let's watch fucking Star Wars. She's never seen any Star Wars.
Yes, you should do it. It's very fun. So
they are fun movies. That's good.
They're very fun. Did a lot of hiking, saw a lot of cool sights, took a lot of pictures. We went crabbing off of a dock, which is very interesting.
How do you crab? Explain to me your process, please.
Let me set you up a fucking word picture here.
Crab.
Believe it or not, there are some intermediaries there.
Really.
As though he's a video game NPC. There's this gentleman, his name was Tony, who sets up this little hut, right? Called Tony's Crab Shack. And
okay, this really sounds like Stardew Valley right now.
Yes, you go to Tony's Crab Shack and you can buy a temporary license to get fishing pots. We got 3 crab pots, and you literally go right on the dock.
Okay,
them,
Farmer Abram. Abram playing Stardew in real.
License?
Well, you need licenses. Oh, he's here!
God damn it.
Howdy, everyone.
Oh my God, he's here.
The thing is really messed up.
I know it's really messed up. We're gonna fix it in just a second.
Oh dear God.
Well, also, Tanner,
are you in Florida?
Turn 90 degrees. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Also, are you gonna get sued
Nope.
on YouTube for nudity?
Nah, Tanner's not nude. He's wearing other clothes. We can't really hear him, but that's okay.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a microphone or headset or webcam or anything.
Yes, there is 0 audio, but it's pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, Tanner is pretty. The background is whatever.
Oh, wow, look at that. That's
Sunset. Glorious. Wow. Very, very beautiful, Tanner. Our reporter in the field, everyone, Tanner Dykstra, coming to us live from Florida, USA.
Nice street light in the background. Give him a thumbs up. Hit him with the thumbs up. Let's communicate with sign language. Who knows it? Hopefully he does.
Apple, right?
Why would that be Apple?
I'm not joking. I just watched a documentary about Coco the Talking Gorilla, in which American Sign Language is the main method of communication.
Is it like Z, like a little Z? Tanner, you getting a toot on right now? What the heck?
I don't know how to tell you.
Oh, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Oh,
Wait,
It's bad audio.
It's
but-
shitty, but who cares?
Okay, well, I was just gonna pop in for a second. You guys are doing a good podcast. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
I said.
Thank you, Tanner.
Well, with the seal of approval from Mr. Dykstra, what could possibly go wrong in the next 30
Well, you
minutes
can
or so?
try. We'll mess it up.
Just
We'll
mess
do
it
our
up.
best.
Everyone will see that I truly am the glue of this operation once that happens.
It's true. This is the first Tannerless episode of BLBS.
That is
I mean,
true.
clearly, it was totally fine without Abram, so he's not needed.
Well,
So
I mean,
all
I
you
don't know.
need is
Abram might
go
disagree
through
on that
and
one.
see which one of us is actually the core of this? Because as we knock off individuals and we discover one of us.
I wonder who's got the OBS open and the YouTube stream open.
Oh wait,
and-
yeah. Imagine BLBS without Timo. Oh,
There
Lord.
is no BLBS.
Okay. So long, everyone. I'm going to continue to soak up the rays and the COVID-19.
Enjoy your vacation, Tanner. We'll see you back next week.
So
Trying to hang
long.
up.
So long. Well, there
Well,
we
look at
go. Look at that. I even set
Oh,
it up
shit.
just right. That ended way better than I thought it was. I was just like trying to get my scene set up so that when he left, I could hit the button and it wouldn't like cause everything to break like it did when he
Yeah.
entered.
I mean, you did a pretty good job, man.
Well, it worked well.
I gotta say, my technical abilities are some weeks better than others, and I'm gonna say this week it's a better.
It's a better. We're gonna
Great English.
Timo
this week, too.
Nelson. Good enough. You want to hear more about crabbing?
I actually am interested. I've been making fun of you for playing Stardew Valley in real life, but this does sound very interesting. As a person who likes aquatic harvesting sport, where you go and kill things from the water for pleasure, this interests
For
me.
pleasure and for sustenance, because we ended up. So here's the deal, right? The crabs, like fish, have to be a certain size to keep.
Mhm,
We ended up
mhm.
with 6 crabs you could keep. Now Tony, I love him, but he's not. He'll tend to look the other way. It appears if you bring a crab that's not quite right. I think he feels bad for how much he charges for the pots in the first place.
Mm.
Ah,
So because here's the deal, right? You go onto his dock. He'll take a piece of raw chicken, and he has a power drill. He'll hold this chicken down on the ground. It's just a piece of chicken, not a live bird, and he'll drill a hole through it and stick it on a hook for you. And you throw the bucket with the chicken in it into the water, and the crabs will come. And they really you'll pull up a pot with probably 8 to 12 crabs. In it at a
what?
time.
Holy shit.
Yes. And these are
That
and
sounds
these
like
are,
an easier fishing.
Than the
method.
fishing that I do.
Well, here's the problem. We were out there for probably an hour and a half. You're pulling pots every 15 minutes. So that's what,
Mhm.
6 times or so?
Yeah.
And we only got 6 crabs out of that because you're going to get a lot of crabs that are not big enough. And you need
Yeah.
a big rig to keep.
A big
You need a
meaty,
big rig.
a big meaty
Yes.
crab.
But we ended up with a couple crabs. The guy right there, he'll cook them for you. $1 a crab. Nice
Wow,
little
that's
Nice
for
deal.
you. So then we ate some crab and it was very good. Only one of the many adventures we got up to. You want to hear another one? We're going to take it a little bit more rural for this one, right? So we're staying in this place in Oregon. I don't remember the name of it, but it's an Airbnb and it's in this little town center. It's a town. We're going to use the term loosely because it's a very rural area.
It's like where I live.
Sure. Here's what's crazy about it, though, right?
Uh-huh.
We saw a Christmas light parade, but the lights were all affixed to various trucks. So the
Okay.
fire
Yeah.
department came through and
With
semis
with
had
it's
big
like
rigs
okay, festive. Yeah, I get it.
decorated.
Yeah,
Yes,
cool.
festively decorated with lights, which was very cool to see. One guy got like blinking like eyelashes. He dressed up his truck like Rudolph. We saw a lot of very cool stuff. And it was really a trip of these sort of eclectic moments of shit I would certainly never do, considering I spend my entire life either working out or writing or playing video games. So we got to do a lot of very cool things like that. And that's basically the trip for the majority of the time, and otherwise I was hanging out at her house, got to meet a lot of her family, which is really cool, and a couple of her friends, and we celebrated my birthday a little bit earlier there, did a little bit of early Christmas stuff.
Nice.
So it was honestly just a phenomenal time.
Congratulations.
That sounds very, very enjoyable.
Yes.
Now the rest of us are out here fucking living our lives in the normal doldrums.
Of
watching movies and editing videos. And,
you know,
and now you're sucked back into the fucking hellhole that we are all trapped in at the moment.
Yes, I have written an obscene amount recently. Because here's the thing, I love being away and spending time with her, and that's like the most important thing. But I was watching you boys in the thick of this cyberpunk mess.
Yeah, Abram left us.
Mess. Like, goddamn, I want to be there for that. So I've been trying to catch up a little bit.
Well, it's all right.
I have to say, fuck both of you. I'd much rather be back over there than sitting in this call. Surprise.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Tucker is just flaming our viewers in the chat right now. Thank you very much.
No, that's my friend Grayson from college.
Oh, okay.
So it's relatively reasonable for me to send
https://wikipedia.org/fuck you.
That's a great, Grayson. That's an incredible meme format. I liked how you responded with wiki/joke. That's fantastic. But I think we've just developed a new meme format in which you just replace the last word with whatever the fuck you want to say, and just it randomly has the Wikipedia article in front of it. Let's find out. Is "fuck you" a real Wikipedia page?
Who knows?
I doubt that there's a Wikipedia page for "fuck you."
I bet you there is. There's a Wikipedia page for everything.
"Fuck you" is a form of the profanity "fuck." It may also refer to, and then a list of music that has the title of "fuck you."
Okay.
The finger, a gesture with that name. And fuck it, fuck off, and F you. See also.
Don't normally YouTubers like censor whenever they give the camera a middle finger?
Oh, can you not do that?
I don't know.
I've seen people give middle fingers on the camera. Huh?
I mean, I'm seeing one do it right now, so how bad could it be, right?
It's true.
It's fine.
BLB gets sucked into the void tomorrow.
Not after we hit 200 subs. We still have to celebrate 200 subs somehow.
Yeah, we do. I don't really know what to do about. I mean, Tucker, do you have any ideas of how to celebrate?
I do everything else around here. You motherfucker. You guys take it. No, honestly, I have no idea. Abram and I about a month and a half ago did our or probably longer than that. My fucking brain time is not good.
It was around September. We
did our top 100 cumulatively top 100 games of all time, which kind of fit the 100 number.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't think we should do anything number related as we continue to grow because it'll progressively become
let's
continuously
rank our top 1,000 words.
What the hell?
Like so we got to figure out something.
Yeah, we got to figure out something. Well,
something will happen.
Maybe we do some. I don't know if I end up hanging out with Tanner for a day on New Year's Day. Backlog banner, New Year's celebration. Yeah. You know, we'll make a video. Sure. You can use your cell phone's got a good enough camera to record videos on it. So
yeah,
I'll make something.
We'll find
Grayson has a good idea. He says to rank all 203 of our subscribers.
Oh. Well, that would out the fact that I have like 10 accounts that are subscribed to us.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to do it. At the beginning, you got to do what you got to do, okay?
You got to do it.
So I mean, I've got like 2 accounts that I am subscribed to with, but
if it makes you feel better, I have several accounts that I'm subscribed on maybe one of them.
Hey, so
that's subscribed on one of them.
That's good. At least someone's not cheating around here.
At least one of us is honest.
One of us doesn't know the password to the other account.
Oh, you lost the password. I'm getting ready to move. And I've had a credit card a bank card for a while, and because I got some scam thing last spring or whatever, so I had to get a new card. And I was like, oh, if I got scammed, I should set a new PIN so that they can't just forgetting, of course, that you get a new card which has a new number and a new date and a new little security code. So if the PIN is the same, it doesn't really matter because they scammed it some other way. But I set a new PIN, and then I promptly forgot it. And so I've been going this whole summer without actually being able to withdraw money from my bank account at an ATM or whatever, or visit some stores and whatnot because I just can't use the card. But then I was cleaning out my stuff in preparation to move on New Year's Day, and I found the PIN number.
Hell yeah.
So now I can
What is
use
it?
my bank account again. No. I'm not telling you,
That's see,
Tucker.
that's a very nonchalant response to being unable to withdraw money from your account.
I found
Well, I mean,
creative ways around it.
yeah,
Actually, I was
he's
with my
living in a
parents.
pandemic. He's mostly at home. He's with his parents. I mean, there's not
Fair.
like he's not ootin' a boot buying himself stuff.
He's
Yeah,
not what, Tucker?
oot in a boot.
Fair, fair. I just wanted to clarify for the record.
Let the record state. Yeah, I mean, I
The
live with my
record.
parents, and so it's like,
Yeah.
don't really go out and purchase things. I like actually having
This-
cash, so whatever.
This scenario actually does remind me of something that happened not too long ago, in which I was in possession of my mother's credit card because I had been purchasing something, and Abram and I were recording, and she burst into the room unaware that we were recording. So we were able to edit that out from the video that happened in, but in which I handed her credit card, and she goes, "I have my credit card back," and showed it straight to the screen. And unwittingly just putting all of her credit card information.
Like you could have gotten all of the numbers off. That's
well, not the
Certainly
back,
one of the best outtakes from BLB, I think, but of course we can't really use that one.
yeah,
you know?
I know.
So we've got a raw Zoom video of that happening somewhere. But when I have to edit backlog banter content, I don't want to rewatch it. So I'll just fucking assume that most of it's good and just trim the beginning and the end and let her go. But this time I actually had to go through and edit, which is
I was editing Quest today, because I'm again behind as shit. This week we're gonna do better because I have to be done by like Thursday because I'm moving, and so I won't have any chance to work on it until it's got to be done by like Thursday night. And so, but I was editing it and I couldn't find. I actually ended up watching most of the episode that should come out sooner or later. Because I couldn't find where we looked at the graph. I couldn't find it. I couldn't remember at what time, and so I just ended up, on Adobe Premiere you can hit L a couple times, and so I was listening to it at 3 times speed to try to figure out where where it was, and I couldn't find it. I actually couldn't find it. So if it's in there, it just doesn't have a graph because I must have missed it in my skimming. But I skimmed like the last half of the show, and it was a 50-minute episode, so.
Well, here's what's interesting about that. That's like a more important thing to find. And here I have a lot of grievances against Tucker that I like to air from time to time. And one of them is the fact that on Backlog Banter, he decided that we should have the PNG logo for whatever game we're talking about above our no reason. So you actually have to edit that show. You actually have to listen back and like, oh, when do we start talking about and change topics? Because here's the problem. That's actual work.
That actually
do
takes
that.
Even if it isn't like hard, it just takes time. Because if it's a long ass episode, like every BLB episode is, they're stupidly long. And then you get that even with 2 times speed, you still have to be like paying attention.
Well, I have done it 9 times, and I'll probably be doing it again next week. So fuck you, basically.
I mean,
it's our show with the
point.
second highest production value. I'm just trying to make it seem like I put any effort in.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean,
Well,
I've taken a mixing quest now, and I got my new mixing set up for Christmas. So I've got these nice headphones, and I've got good audio supply. So it's like I can hear basically what's wrong with you guys' mics, and then fix them because I can. I'm able to like dial it in and find the cool parts, and it's fun and enjoyable. It's like I kind of like this.
It's like listening to a brain dance in editor mode.
Kind of is, actually. It's pretty similar because you skim and then you hear some shit you don't want to hear.
What were you going to say though, Abram?
Oh, well, here's the thing. We got a comment from one Jeff who said, please timestamp your videos. And that's really a lot of work that I don't want to go to, but I think it's something to consider doing.
Well, fucking guess what? Look back at literally every other BLB episode in which I've already done that.
Hey, that's nice. It's a shame that
check the description of all of them. I have time codes. I've done that.
Well, you have.
Usually I do it like 2 weeks.
I am little Jamie. I'm pulling this up.
Pulling it up.
Lord. I really hope I did all of them. I might not have done the one where Abram was gone, but I have done the vast majority of BLB episodes have time codes on them.
I believe that was actually on maybe our Cyberpug discussion. But by the way, Jeff, you and I just got served in equal measure. But I think that that's actually very good feedback. So I'm going to start timestamping videos, not retroactively because I don't want to, but starting from here on out, I think we should.
Well,
Tucker
here's
is
the
right.
thing.
I picked BLB episode 8 at random, and it is in fact timestamped.
Yeah.
Check 10.
Let's see about 10.
10 is
Where the heck did it go?
the one that I uploaded 3 days ago. That Abram edited.
Yes.
So no, it doesn't have time codes. You kidding me? But also, like, there are certain things like I actually think it's easiest to do that for BLB because
Yeah.
you
Oh, yeah,
can
there ain't no
skim
time
through
codes.
and find where the JPEG changes or the PNG changes,
And if
and
you're
then use that for the time code. It's
and if
very
you've
easy.
if you've already done that work in like Premiere or whatever, and you have those little things, you can just like write down where what time you set it to do that, right?
It's true.
Yeah. So it actually
Yeah.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
that much more work if
But you also would have to watch through each section and see when things end. But that's just called editing and production value and putting effort into your content, which I know that's probably stressful for you, but you might consider it.
Ever since I hung up the Penguins with Cape mantle and no longer made videos about Kirby's Dream Course, I stopped putting production value in. It's all about writing.
But
All
the
about
production
writing.
value for our content
It's very good.
I have some qualms with it, but starting January 4th will improve.
What's
because-
happening January 4th?
Well, hold on.
You're leaving the show?
he didn't hear it.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nobody
I
said
admire
anything.
Your corn shirt.
Yeah, I have my corn shirt on, but I have received for Christmas an Elgato HD60s Plus.
And so when
Which
you
will
are
allow me,
when you are back in Nebraska,
yes,
What's the plus
Now-
do?
it's
better than yours. Fuck you. No, but I think it's just allows you to capture larger quality of footage at a faster rate and stuff. So
Okay.
but it was like $20 more, so I'm like future proof myself a little bit.
yeah, that's nice. And so
Um,
you can use it on your consoles, on your computer. You can use it for all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. And the thing is that I edit on my MacBook Pro laptop.
Yeah.
Because that's where I have the school issued Adobe Photoshop and Premiere.
Of course.
So it's significantly easier for me to do that. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive, so storage is not an issue.
You have Tucker. I feel like you might actually run out of storage. You see, in my 8 terabyte hard drive, I'm running
I've been
low.
using this thing. I've been using this thing for a year, and I've got plenty of space. But the problem is that because it is a MacBook Pro laptop, it only has USB-C ports.
It's only got
And
humongous ports.
Not a lot of things go instantly to USB-C. So I do have a USB-C port. Well, you can't really see this, but to USB adapter or hub.
Yeah, I've got one too.
But these are USB 2.0 ports, and Elgato HD60s Plus doesn't like that. It's mad at you.
Okay, well, you need to get this one, whatever it is, because this is a USB 3.0 Gen 4 or whatever, the really nice version.
No, so January 4th is when my USB-C to USB 3.0 hub comes in.
I see.
And now I can plug this into my computer, which that's gonna be more useful than the one I have anyway. This was like $4,
Sure.
so it's not a big deal, and I can just give this one to my brother. But that is when I'll really be able to get my stuff. I was trying to set it up the other day and going on the app, which is called Game Capture HD, which is the Elgato software.
Yeah.
And it was just mad at me. In a
It
lot
just
of different
wasn't
ways.
working.
And there's cords coming out of this thing, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm like digging slashing through a jungle with a machete, and it didn't.
One of my favorite movie tropes is the fucking car won't start, so you kick it and it starts going. But unfortunately, sometimes that's how you have to work with the Elgato, because sometimes I'll connect right ports, right cables, and just will not turn on. So you got to reset your computer. You gotta buy the fucking Elgato a gift. You gotta take it out to dinner, and sometimes it'll turn on. So if you end up figuring out any little short, we're gonna have to collaborate now because we both have capture cards. I don't really know what we're gonna
you
do
and me
with them.
collaborating on content.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
What are we
but
gonna
you
use
make a
these
good
for?
point. I think maybe we can bump up the production values on our game reviews.
Yeah, because
I think that would be
you
best.
can capture game footage, and if you
Yes.
and with your Thank you very much. I'll be here all week and next week too. You can do face. You can pull in your face cam. You can get with the Elgato. I'm pretty sure you can capture game and face cam separately, which would be pretty cool. Because you can use the Elgato for the game capture, which is the real intensive one, and then you can use your Logitech software or your QuickTime or whatever to capture your face cam, and then you have two separate video things that once you sync up with your audio, because the audio will be the same for both of them if you do it right, which isn't that hard. And then editing will be really easy because instead of just having this tiny little like box in the corner of your video that you have to scale up whenever you want to have like a good old reaction image, you can you just have the original file to play at whatever size you want, at whatever original resolution. It's really great, actually. I'm excited to see what you can do with
we'll
it.
certainly need to do a little bit of finagling with and learning all this stuff essentially, because I've just been doing the bare minimum when it comes to making reaction videos and stuff. I just scale things up, crop them together, and slap them out. But I just need to put more effort into things, and I'm not ashamed to say that I don't know how to do a lot of it, and I'll learn, and hopefully this thing will become useful because my dad spent $200 on it.
I bet it will become useful. They're useful.
very cool.
Yeah.
Good old
sponsored
Uncle
by Elgato.
Good old Uncle Timo telling us how to use the things we own.
Yep. And I don't even own them. Yeah. I want an in-computer capture card. That would be kind of cool, but I don't. I need lots of other things before that, so it's pretty low on the list of technology.
Like an apartment.
Yeah, like a place to live and some food to eat. Yeah.
God damn it.
I got a Kira manga.
We want to talk about Christmas? I want to know about Mr. Scrooge's Christmas. He kind of let us in on it, but down there, we had a little episode a couple 2 weeks ago where Tucker talked about his dislike for some elements of Christmas. How did your Christmas turn out? Was it unhappy or was it a Merry Christmas for you?
It was, I had a good day. I aired my grievances with the Christmas season in a previous episode. But that does mean that I don't engage with a lot of Christmas stuff during the Christmas Eve and proper day. And neither does the rest of my family, to be 100% honest.
Oh, well,
we opened gifts at like 12:30 because my brother refused to fucking get up. And then we had a little bit of breakfast together, and then that was it. I didn't really interact with them for the rest of the day.
Wow. Even I, a pretty bad sleeper inner, got up early on Christmas Day.
Keaton got up almost at 2 p.m. today, which scares me a little bit.
Well, he's got an altered schedule.
Yeah.
He's a night creature.
The other thing that came from my Christmas is I got a metal pot from my mom to replace the one that I microwaved, and it but my dad got me Criterion movies, including the Jacques Tati complete collection, which is right there on that shelf. And which is, I've wanted that for fucking ever, so I'm really happy that I have that now. But let me tell you, trying to exchange anything Criterion wise at Barnes & Noble is hell. We spent so long at Barnes & Noble trying to figure out what they would allow us to do, because if you buy it on sale, you can't return it and or trade it in for the actual price, because you paid part of the price, but even though it's like the same product, like I had one that was damaged and one that I already had, so they each had to be treated differently, and one was the collection, which is the same price as the Blu-ray version. So if I wanted to upgrade it, that was okay, even though we paid half price for it. So like the people at the Barnes & Noble were like, I don't, and it was just hell. It was terrible.
Oh god, that doesn't sound fun.
Returns in general are just not worth participating in. Unless something's really egregious, I just won't do it.
Yeah, unless I bought it on mistake.
Did not need 2 copies of Time Bandits on Criterion DVD.
So. Yeah, that makes sense.
You didn't even need one.
You know, looking behind you, there's a few things that I could comment the same on.
What back here is not essential? I rest my case.
Star Fox Assault.
It's all right. It's all right, game.
I only have the very essentials in my background. The space heater, check. My closet, check.
You didn't purchase the closet. That's not an item.
Well, what's ever in the closet. I need everything in the closet. My clothes.
How much do you guys pay for a Christmas tree? Do you know?
Aha! I have a good story about this year. It paid nothing because, as it happens, I live in the Great White North where there's lots of pines, and so we just tromped out onto our property, found a tree and chopped it down.
I like that. That's very utilitarian of you.
It's a scraggly little tiny tree, but is very when we got it all dolled up with the lights and the ornaments, very festive.
That's very
Good.
cool. Now, I live up here in the rural Maine, so there's no shortage of trees you could possibly use for a Christmas tree. But what we do every year is we go down to the hardware store and you get a tree for $35.
Wow.
It's
Mm.
very simple and easy. But I was out
They
in
are not that
California.
cheap in Texas.
Yeah, I remember
Well,
how
that's
much
what I
they were.
learned.
I remember how much they were in Texas.
Usually over 100.
Yeah, it's like
It was
120,
$100
150
in
bucks for a
California.
Christmas tree.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
That's crazy.
absolutely disgusting.
And like really nice big ones are like 200 plus.
Well, yeah, but they're like, I mean, compared to the one that like I chopped down, those ones were way nicer. Just they were more full.
yeah.
They had the little needles didn't fall off. You could actually hang some like weighty ornaments on the branches. Mine is nice because it was free and it was, homegrown and whatnot. But it does not hold a candle to the quality and grandeur of a really nice, thick, big Papa Noel Christmas tree.
I don't like Christmas trees.
Tucker doesn't. He's Scrooge, so.
It's very interesting listening to what Tucker does and doesn't like. I like to just absorb it.
Oh, fun fact. I think
Yes.
you might have been privy to this, but I started working on a list of things I don't like.
Yes, I heard about that.
I
Yeah.
haven't heard about this.
Is this a good podcast topic? Should we bring this up?
Yeah, we can do it
It's
on one-
relatively new. So
Grayson
it's
just
not-
is asking about our soul watching status. Abram, you said you were gonna. We got some review content planned for it, I think, right?
We do have review content planned. We don't know exactly when I'm going to do it tomorrow. I will have been with Jean for 16 months, so we're going to have a little Zoom date and watch Soul tomorrow.
Nice. That's
So,
cute. Tucker,
yes.
hit us with your list of things you don't like, if you will.
Sure. All right. So I've got a list of things I don't like, and I have been thinking about doing this for a long time because there's a solid amount of things that I'm not personally a fan of. But over the past week, as I've created the list, and things come up in conversation, I'm like, that's right, I don't like that. So add to the list. And this is sort of similar to the hit list, but usually these are just like
This is less
topics.
memey. Okay.
These aren't things that I could actively murder. Although I didn't like a state. I can't remember what it was. Illinois.
You also said
something
you
like
wanted
that.
to kill Mario and then Nintendo, which seemed a little bit less feasible.
Yeah,
But here's
well-
my question. The hit list had a certain comedic element to it that
Mhm.
made it very fun. Is there any comedy to the things you don't like list? Or is it just for your personal categorizing that needs?
Yeah,
So-
it's that one.
It's
yeah.
Tucker's
So you
list
really don't like these
addiction.
things.
Well, because what usually happens is I'll be in a conversation with someone about a normal thing. I'm like, oh well, I don't really like that. Like I just that
Okay.
rubs me the wrong way.
And then do you
So-
stop to take out your phone and write it down on the list?
Well, no, it's usually just been like a joke thing in my family. Who
Oh, okay.
They know the things I don't like, so it's not like a huge deal. But I guess I'll continue developing it as the days progress.
Yeah.
So-
Give us some of the highlights so far, and then maybe one week you make a visual presentation like the hit list of the things you dislike.
Sure,
Unless your
yeah.
list is hundreds of items long, which in that
No,
case
it's-
I don't know what to
It's
do.
currently about 10, maybe a little.
Oh, that's not
more
so
or
bad.
less. Yeah, but this is a week's worth of me realizing things. So, I don't like Christmas ornaments. That was already kind of a generalization of Christmas. I just find them to be obnoxious and tacky. I don't like glitter. It's so fucking useless,
Yeah.
and it gets everywhere, and it looks terrible. and
Nobody
it's
knows how
unpopular.
glitter's made. You know that, right? Glitter's just made. There's no nobody knows how it gets constructed.
Have you called Jonathan Glitter,
No.
owner of Glitter Incorporated?
I actually
No?
read
Okay, well.
a newspaper article about it, and they're like, yeah, this is like, there's like, where's glitter made? At the glitter factory. And they're like, how? From larger pieces of glitter.
What the fuck what does that even mean?
Yeah, I was like, so we just, like, what? Like, they couldn't figure out how glitter was made? Okay, Mr. Journalist, like, good job, I guess.
Another one, poetry. I find poetry to be, God, it just rubs me the wrong way. I get not heat vision. My wait, that's like Superman. Wait, what the fuck? What's the term? I get
I don't-
heated. It turned red. Like I see red. I guess it's the thing I was looking for.
Your blood
when
boils?
Sure, that those sort of things. When
Okay.
when I hear poetry, I'm just like, wow, this is. If you
I will
are
have to read.
spouting
I will
or
have to
enjoying
read.
poetry,
I'm gonna have to
there's a
read some
large
of
stick up your ass at the
of
moment.
my poetry to
Let's
Tucker
all
one
talk at
day.
the same time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, sure, yeah.
One
Um,
day, Tucker, I'm gonna read my poetry on the air.
Well, yeah, I mean, poetry is.
I don't.
something that's
I've written
really-
like 2 or 3 poems. Okay, don't worry. I don't like, and they're. I probably won't actually read them on the air. Sorry, that was a lie. I don't want to read those on the air. I don't really want to read them to anybody, to be honest, because they're pretty bad.
I like a little poetry here and there. What
Okay.
I don't like is a fucking English teacher. Let's beat all of the life out of this piece of poetry as we figure out what it means. I
Yeah.
don't like that, but poetry, I'll allow it to exist.
Just like, oh, let's
Yeah.
read this, and then like, oh, what do you get from it immediately? Like, what does it make you feel? Like that, and you're like, oh, it makes me feel these things or that
Angry.
thing. Well,
Anger.
that's
That's
because
But that's what I would usually put on when we're like talking about poetry in English class. I'm like, this makes me feel upset because I don't like poetry.
okay, buddy.
Okay, other things. Amusement parks. That actually might be my number one least favorite thing on the entire fucking planet.
You
like
don't
that-
like
that's-
amusement parks.
No.
That's really
It's
interesting.
everything about human culture condensed into what? Fucking 6 square acres of land. It just amusement parks piss me the fuck off.
So no Super
Crowds,
Nintendo World?
overpriced food. I would not go to Super Nintendo World now. Overpriced food, tacky items that are overpriced, roller coasters, which is another thing on this list that I don't like. It just I hate everything about amusement parks, and this was unfortunate on the Pasadena band trip that we took a few years ago.
Oh yeah, I
because we
remember
went
that.
to like 3 different.
I had a great
amusement
time on that
parks.
trip because one of them we went on like New Year's Day and there was nobody in the park and the like.
Yeah,
like,
it was
like
that was Disneyland.
no, that was we went on New Year's Eve and Disneyland was so packed you couldn't breathe on New Year's
Oh,
Eve.
well.
But we went to some other amusement park on New Year's Day or something like that, and it was just like so empty, and we got to go on all the coolest rides so many times because there's no lines or whatever because no one was there. That was great. That was great.
But during these experiences, I just sat on a bench and cried for the entire time. Like I legitimately sat there by myself for the majority of those trips and just cried.
That's too bad. That's
Tucker was a 75-year-old man in a past life.
yeah. He definitely was.
These
Okay.
are some curmudgeonly opinions.
There's other things. Well, TV shows. I mean, that's kind of a given.
TV.
Quantity. That's on my list.
Okay.
TV shows, especially reality TV shows. Like I'll
that's-
give
yeah.
a pass to the stories told in like serialized episodic TV shows, but reality TV. There's nothing about that's redeeming in my eyes. I fucking
The
despise
only
it.
thing that's redeeming in my eyes is that it gives money to up and coming industry professionals. It's jobs for media
Sure.
people. Even
Lots
if
of
it's
things
not
are jobs, though.
even if it's not good work but it does pay. You know, people do get paid to make that, and even if it's shit, that's a job that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise. That's a pretty damn low bar.
Yeah. I've got a couple other things. I don't know if
Okay.
you're still interested.
Yeah, hit us with
Cursive.
okay.
I fucking hate cursive. It's so unnecessary. It's difficult to read, and people act like they're fucking highfalutin and mighty if they can write in cursive. Like, no, you're just an asshole. Shut
So
the
what
fuck up.
about I want to know about calligraphy.
Calligraphy is pretty interesting, but that's like a next level art. I'm talking about just like my fucking grandma who just writes everything in cursive and
Okay.
thinks she's a fucking badass for it. I'm like, stop. No one can read what you're saying. Just write things in actual human fucking letters. You're not an ascended angel from the fucking gods. God damn it. I hate cursive.
Now, of course, cursive used to just be a skill everybody possessed, and it started
We
to
learned it in
die out.
elementary school.
Yeah, I mean, I learned it. I can write in cursive and I can read
I can't
cursive.
anymore.
I can read, but I
It's-
can't write it.
It's fine. It's very inoffensive, I think.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
kinda
that you're taking on the weight of cursive as a singular
Yeah.
man. That's a big burden to hold.
Tucker's gonna hold the weight of the world on his shoulders now.
I'm Atlas, but for cursive.
Tanner
Um,
Dykstra agrees with your opinion there, Tucker. He says, "Fuck you,
Good.
Grandma."
Yeah, oh. No, wait, that's not what I meant. Hold on. But the last few, these are a little bit easier to discuss. Fortune cookies, they don't taste good. They're fucking fake, and they're just obnoxious. And
Okay.
also, they're like, maybe that hatred came from Iron Man 3, in which the Mandarin is like, fortune cookies aren't actually Chinese. Do you like? tells that whole story. But also, I hate fortune cookies. I fuck fortune cookies. Board games. I'm not a fan of board games. I just don't like playing board games. Just frustrates me.
Huh. Okay.
Not a good round of Monopoly or Clue or Risk.
Nope.
Settlers of Catan.
Nah.
Abram's just naming these bangers of board games, dude.
Absolute bangers.
I
mean,
love.
I've played all of them. I don't care. I don't like
Abram, have you ever played Diplomacy?
No, I don't even know what that one is.
It's Risk, but it's
called
even
being a nice person. He's never played that.
it's
All right,
Risk.
ad hominem.
Playing Diplomacy.
Diplomacy is like Risk, but it's more strategic and like interpersonal. People often play it through the mail, so you will like play with a bunch of people around the country, and like every 2 weeks or like every week or something, you'll make one move, and you will have to like scheme your way through writing letters and then you send instructions to a game master who then like makes all the moves. And unlike Risk, where you have all your like armies, and like if you have the bigger number of armies, like you're probably gonna win. Diplomacy is just like, it literally only matters if you have more troops in a spot, but you can only move like so many at a time, and it's like it's very complicated and it's really hard. It's one of the harder strategy games I've ever played, and I'm pretty bad at strategy games, but it was like I could see the appeal of playing it on a really long, drawn out scale of weeks and weeks, like playing the game for a year with some people.
This actually reminds me of something that we're going to manifest into existence, thanks to, as Timo referred to him, Papa Buhner, who recently purchased me Cyberpunk Red.
Oh yeah,
Jumpstart kit. I am going to, and now it's on camera, I am going to be the dungeon master, if you will, for a round of Cyberpunk Red that we're going to play.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited.
It's going to happen.
I found my dice recently too, so cool.
Right on.
Unfortunately, my distaste for board games does carry over to the Dungeons and Dragons realm of
tabletop RPGs,
tabletop games. Yes.
Yes.
Timo can attest to the fact that I have given my hand at it a number of times, but
they make him fall asleep. Tucker falls asleep.
I get really fucking bored. Yeah,
which is
I have never dungeoned or dragoned, so that's going to be a compelling experience.
I'm interesting to see. I've played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and I've done a lot of DMing. of DMing, and so it'll be interesting to see how you take on it, Abram. If you want any tips, I'm here, but I'll let you do it how you want to, because that's always fun, and it's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. So it's nice to be a player every once in a while.
I'm going to hijack this conversation a little bit further. I listened to Mike Pondsmith, creator of Cyberpunk, DM a game for some people at IGN when I was on the plane. That was fucking awesome. That's what really got me excited.
Yeah. It's like watching Matt Mercer for Dungeons and Dragons. Him like with the Critical Role crew, like play Dungeons, and you're just like, I mean, regular games are not as powerful as those, but they're still very fun. I've had some great moments. I love making props. I'm a total prop fiend. Whenever I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons, I will spend twice as much time making props as I do like planning the story and the encounters. I just wing that stuff mostly. But there was one moment where I spent literal hours making a map, like a physical map of the city that they were in. And the characters got to the city, and I just shoehorned them because I wanted them to have to buy a map. So I just made them get lost. I made them like roll like fudged rolls and whatnot. And I was like, okay, yeah, bitch, you're lost now. Go buy a map. And they're just like, what the, like, they're kind of getting pissed at me. Like, why? So they went and bought a map, and they forked over the imaginary money. And then I reach behind the seat and I pull out this roll and I place it on the table and unroll it, and it's the physical map. And that was like maybe one of the funnest moments. They were just
bad. That's a power play.
They were just like, oh man, they're like, yo, and then it felt really good for me because I forced them into my cool setup. But
right on.
That's how to be a good dungeon master. Just force your players to do what you want, so it's cool.
Tucker, did that conclude your list, or there's some more?
Well, there's just one straggling thing. I didn't want to interrupt this final or this conversation you guys are having, but
yeah, hit us with
final
the final
thing. I like. Also, the first thing that I added to this list is those neighborhoods that are like all the buildings were built by like one company and they all look the exact same, and the streets are all paved the exact same way, and they're overly manicured, and like you can see the same bits of buildings being like used over and over again for all this. I hate that. It freaks me the fuck out. The movie Vivarium, apparently not a good movie, but that's like my nightmare.
I hate to inform you about this, Tucker, That's a very cold take.
Okay, well,
A
that's
lot
fine.
of
but
a lot
I
of
mean,
people hate that.
Yeah,
I hate
no,
that
but
too,
I'm
to
just
be
saying, like,
honest.
those freak me the fuck out. Like, that's one of the, it's stupid. Like, that's a really dumb thing to dislike. My uncle lives in one, and so I've been in one plenty of times. But I think it's just like, I feel lost. I feel like I'm in somewhere I shouldn't be.
It's a form of hell, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like you're wandering
Good.
in limbo.
Timo, I have high amount of respect for this.
I dislike
you
that
agreeing
too.
with me on this. Yeah.
Well, I like living in the city. I like living in downtown spaces. So, my own personal hell in the middle of nowhere in rural Minnesota. Just kidding. It's very nice up here. I get to go ice fishing and stuff and ride the snowmobile out on the ice and stuff like that. And, when the ice is thin, crash through with the snowmobile and drown and die. And so,
Well, on that note, I think we're done for this week.
I think we're done. All
It's a
right.
pretty solid episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for joining
made
us.
it.
Thank you for hanging
You're
out.
welcome.
Yeah, you guys brought good topics, even with Tucker, when we came up with ones right on the fly at the end there. Good job.
Yes.
Good job, laddies. We doing it. All the fellas in chat, we got some good chatting today. I'm happy about that.
It's true.
Thank you for
It's 'cause
joining us.
I brought my own account into it to fuck with people.
We'll be back next week at the same time. If you want to join us, then we'd greatly appreciate it. 4:00 on Sundays. That's the time for the bonus stage where we sit around and bullshit our way to stardom.
Well,
that was one hell of a vamp. Let's go bye-bye. All right. Good job. Good riddance, guys.
goodbye.
That's how we should end our videos. Good riddance.